This content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill
Wait
no one.
a second.
Oh, no.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings, you're watching another episode of SeptumSin vs. the World. I'm SeptumSin. Today is the third installment of my video game Stroll. So, we're actually going to get through the Switch today, but I do have two. One that I just neglected and kind of skipped over, and the other one that I had bought since the last one. So let's start with that, which was I did purchase Animal Crossing New Horizons, which is a fun little game. You're on your own little island, and it's just kind of a relaxing experience. You go to this island. Of course, you're saddled with a ton of debt because you have moving expenses, and you got to build a house and all this. And you spend most of the time making friends, building up your community, and paying off the debt as you go. Much like real life. But it's a good time sink. I've been enjoying this somewhat because when I'm sitting through a webinar or I'm waiting on a client, I can sit through and I can just, mindlessly do that. Or let's say I'm in a discussion and I need to occupy my mind because I have ADHD, so I like to have 2 or 3 things going at once. I could be, chopping trees, and my mind takes like that much of my mind power, but allows me to focus the rest on whatever task I'm doing at hand. So it's a fun little time suck. I've been spending most of my time with this game. Now the other one is one that's actually gotten fairly rare these days, which is Ring Fit Adventure. Now I got this back when it came out because I thought it would be cool. I don't use it as often as I should. It came in this giant box, and the reason why is because of the peripherals, this, and this. And it has some pretty cool exercise technology. What you can do is you play a little adventure, and you can do different attacks and stuff based on your ring. You can actually shake it, you can do this, you can move it, and that allows you to better control it. Actually, I would think this would be a cool way to play Mario Kart. I wonder if you could do that. I should try that. But also, it comes with this. And this goes around your leg, and it can actually track your movements so that it can tell if you're running or walking or lifting your legs up high. It's a really cool system. I don't know how they do it, but it is fun. I still use it on rainy days because I prefer getting out when I can. When I do want my exercise, I like to walk outside. But if it's too nasty weather-wise, I put this in and I take a bit of a walk through the land of Ring Fit, because now they have these options to where you can just do the walking course, which is good. I prefer that in many ways. So next up is a fairly rare one, which limited run released, called Saturday Morning RPG. It kind of makes fun of old school RPGs in a way that, in a good way. And it's rather fun. I have not opened my copy of this yet, but I thought I would get it just because I am an old school RPG fan going all the way back to the original Final Fantasy, and I wanted to get a hold of this, so I'm glad I got it when it came out, because apparently it's harder to get these days, so it's just kind of cool to have this. Another one up here I'd gotten cheap from GameStop, which is Shining Residence Refrain. I don't know much about it other than it's RPG, and I'm willing to always give something like that a try. You got your Japanese voice pack, and this was new, so this is good. So you know, I'm not sure what the whole is, but I'm curious about it. You know, it's an RPG. When I have time to stick into it, who knows when. It might be worth it. This one I thought was fun, which is the SNK Collection. I need to download the expansion because this has all of the SNK games. Well, not all of them, but a lot of the major SNK arcade games and some of the Nintendo classics on here, including Crystallis and some of their fighting games. It's just, in general, a lot of cool stuff on here. I need to, like I say, get the DLC pack because from what I recall it has even more games on it, and I believe it's free. So to me it's a good investment for that number of games. Crystallis alone is worth the investment because it's just an awesome adventure, like action RPG. This one here, the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection, there was another one that came out that wasn't really that much worth it, but this definitely was. It has on this included, in this little itty bitty disc, it has the original Street Fighter, which had the big buttons that you pounded on in the arcade. Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2, the Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Let's see here. And a bunch of the Street Fighter 2s. Back when I was growing up, it was just basically Street Fighter 2 release after Street Fighter 2 release. But it also has Street Fighter Alpha, Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter Alpha 3, which is probably my favorite Street Fighter game. Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 3 Second Impact, and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. So, no Street Fighter 4 on here, but again, I've got that one already. And I've got 5 already, but this has everything up until then. And that's a lot of fun you can have with fighting games. This is just a piece of history right here. It's worth having. And you can play it on the go. Then, of course, this is one of the obligatory ones, Super Mario Odyssey. I've never played it. I plan on playing it eventually. Supposed to be fun. Who knows? Maybe it is. You can possess things with your hat. So, who knows? Maybe it'll be fun. Maybe it'll be something I will enjoy. I'm sure it is. Now, here's something I have enjoyed, which is the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It has a ton of characters. I've almost beaten like one of the modes with all the characters. I have not plunked down the money for the DLC packs, but eventually I will. I'm trying to wait until they all get released and then see if I can get a deal on all of them. With Nintendo, there's no such thing as really a good deal, it seems like, but I may just, plunk down the $20 and get all the packs and costumes for the first set, then wait till the second set gets released and do the same. But it's fun. I enjoy it. It's only an occasional pastime, but I do enjoy it. And then, of course, finally, I've got Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I plan on getting the original Xenoblade, Chronicles release that they did. I just don't have the money for it right now, but I do plan on trying to get that and then just play it on the console. I have it on the 3DS. I don't know, I just couldn't get into something that epic on the 3DS, so maybe if I can play it on the big screen, it'll be fun. Alright, that's all of my Switch. So the next up is a memory card holder for my PlayStation. I just thought I would throw that out there because it has my main memory card and my Lunar 2, my original Lunar memory card. And you put these stickers on sometimes because of just, fun markers. These are actually as old as when I was using the original PlayStation back in the late 90s. This here will be my first PlayStation 1 game. Well, not my very first PlayStation 1 game. That was Final Fantasy VII. But I don't have that anymore. I only have a select few of my original games. And Final Fantasy IX is one of those. It's an excellent RPG. I probably would not have this for anything other than the nostalgia purposes now because I own it digitally. But still, I love having these manuals. Something I miss from a lot of RPGs. I mean, this was a 4-disc game because they couldn't all fit on these CDs. You see, here's another thing here. Back when you had strategy guides. It's just, it was a really cool set of circumstances. Well, this has been all for our third video game tour. And this has been SeptumSin. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Click that like button, subscribe, and of course share, because sharing is caring. And we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
Goodbye.